The first few months of 2022 have been an interesting time for the markets and for global finance in general. Continued rising inflation.
That's the highest inflation rate since 2005.
The onset of post-pandemic economic jitters and, of course, Russia's invasion of Ukraine have all created an unprecedented geopolitical and economic environment. At Capital.com, we've studied unique trading data from clients all around the world to compile the first of our quarterly trend reports. You can read the full report in the link below. But to give you a taste of our original analysis, here are some key takeaways from the report itself, all of which offer a comprehensive overview of Capital.com's current retail investing trends. First up, commodities, which drew interest from an increasing number of traders. We noted that during the first quarter of 2022, the number of traders in commodities increased much more dramatically than other key markets. This might be explained by the fact that commodity prices, from crude oil to metals and grains, all rallied to multi-year highs. Gold, for example, reached its highest levels since July 2020. Crude oil traded to an 8-year high, and in terms of trading volumes, these jumped 174% in the first quarter alone, and wheat hit all-time highs. At its high point in March 2022, West Texas Intermediate oil traded above $126 a barrel. That was an increase of 70% for the year to date. Brent oil went even higher. These were the 5 most traded instruments on our platform during the first quarter of 2022. By March, oil had become the new gold, the precious metal previously held pole position in late 2021. In fact, 4 of the top 5 markets were commodities. It appears here that traders are chasing momentum in energy markets by speculating on oil and gas. When it comes to stock markets, many stocks were going down in January, and tech was a big casualty here amid fears that the sector's stocks were inflated. The drop in tech stocks accelerated following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. By mid-March, the Nasdaq 100 index was down 20% from the start of the year. Despite this slump, trading volumes for a number of the big tech stocks increased. This was possibly a continuation of the trader interest from the end of last year, with Meta platforms being a prime example.
Our company is now Meta.
In early February, following a huge crash in its share price, which saw more than $230 billion wiped off its value, there was a massive jump in trader activity for the stock. Despite tech's poor start to the year, we saw a significant recovery, with Nasdaq stocks returning to January's levels by the end of the quarter. Even before this quarter, there were concerns over the possible overvaluation of big tech. So it will be even more interesting to see if tech stocks rebound as we go into the summer. The war in Ukraine triggered frenzied trading activity in many areas as investors appeared to chase volatility. We saw the number of trades on our platform more than double on the first day of Russia's invasion. Aside from oil, gold was the big mover during the first 2 weeks of the war, breaking through the $2,000 an ounce mark and almost hitting its all-time high from August 2020. Similar trends can be seen on the platform. The number of traders nearly doubled for crude oil, gold, and the US dollar-Russian ruble pairing. But by the end of the quarter, the number of traders for the dollar to ruble returned to its pre-war level, just as the ruble made a surprising comeback. Our data research during the first quarter also provided some interesting insights into the differences between male and female traders on Capital.com. Women account for 1 in 7 traders on the platform, but interestingly, we found that in Australia, that number is nearly 1 in 5. Female traders on Capital.com are more drawn to equities, whereas men are more interested in currencies. Also, female traders declare a higher level of education, with half holding either a bachelor's or master's degree compared to just over 1/3 of male traders. We also found that 36% of our female traders on Capital.com were willing to short sell, whereas it was only 29% of men. Women traders, however, maintain smaller portfolios, and their deposits are 34% smaller than those of men. Going back to commodities, it's hard to say whether we've seen the highs for oil and gold for the year already due to the war in Ukraine, and whether we might see further recovery in stocks during the second quarter. We may see a lot of focus on the US dollar for the rest of 2022. It's viewed as something of a safe haven in times of geopolitical uncertainty, and the currency ended March up around a couple of percent for the year to date. Now, the dollar had been rising anyway, following higher than expected inflation numbers, and as the first quarter ended, it certainly had a tailwind going into April. Thanks for watching. You can read our full quarterly trend report by clicking on the link in the description. You can also watch our recent film on the US dollar and whether it could ever crash. Just click on the box to view. And of course, don't forget to click on the subscribe button to stay alerted to more films on similar topics in the future.